couple of years ago, I made a video for Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2 is a sequel. Let's go.
Report unusual behavior. Barricade your homes. Avoid all contact with infected individuals.
This game focuses on a new group of 4 survivors, Nick, Ellis, Rochelle, and Coach, just trying to survive 5 fun levels in the southern United States. The first level is Sunny Savannah. You start atop a burning building, and for a majority of this chapter, you'll make your way through with your choice of secondary weapons. I chose dual pistols. 30 shots is fantastic, but my buddies prefer the melee weapons. You see, the best plan is to have the person with the pistols thin the enemy ranks through a hole through the door. But Brad doesn't really care about standard procedure, so he rushes in headlong and dies. But on the second attempt, he found me a Desert Eagle, which is my preferred weapon, but there was also a chainsaw. And while I despise the concept of a freaking ammo-based melee weapon, the second half of this level is just a mad dash, where the best course of getting past the zombies is to just go through them. So for this point and this point alone, I'll use the chainsaw. One thing we did a lot more in this playthrough was receive defibrillators, meaning that we used a lot more defibrillators. Of course, I had just the cutest little nickname for it.
Because it's still good to have the necromancy paddles.
So in this very first room, Scott had red health, but we also had a defibrillator.
Heroes never die.
Another thing that was unique about this playthrough was the Special Infected's obsession with Brad. This right here is just a little taste of things to come, but more often than not, they would just ignore us to take a big old bite out of Nick. Shortly after that, we encounter our first tank.
Whoa! Smoke! Hey, look!
Fortunately, I had a Molotov.
Well, I mean, for me, it was fortunate. I mean, as for Brad and Scott.
I wanna watch the world burn. I got the gasoline.
Well, through some divine miracle, we walked away from that mess, and we found one more weapon. I picked it up here just to showcase it. Okay, it's the grenade launcher. I freaking hate the grenade launcher. One shot, long reload, friendly fire damage. There. I used it, you're seeing it, and now I don't have to use or touch that thing ever again. Alright, so the specials are obsessed with Brad, and this went doubly so for the witches. No matter who set them off, they would always target Brad. For example, if you look really closely at this footage, you can actually see that I shoot her with the freaking grenade, but she decides that Nick has one too many organs and promptly removes them.
Nick! I got a last video too!
Shortly after that, we make it to one of my favorite parts in the game, the gun shop, where you can equip yourself with any weapon combination your twisted heart could ever desire. I always go with a Desert Eagle and an AK-47 with a laser sight. All it's gonna cost us is 6 bottles of cola. You see, the gun shop owner barricaded himself in, but in his haste, he forgot cola.
How many times have I quoted that exact line in the last 15 years? Bet it's like 7.
So usually this is a pretty deadly spot for us, because you need to trigger a store's alarm system and just tons of zombies come in. I hate Gauntlet events, but we handled this one with poison and gravities. Basically, we had the white men go in and grab the soda, and then we hoisted it up to the black man, and honestly, it worked pretty well. Usually, when we split up, a rogue special infected manages to kill one of the teams rather quickly, but they did kill Rochelle, but honestly, at this point, that's just a bonus.
She was an important part of the team!
She was the mascot, the humble mascot.
Then we pile up into the mall. Honestly, nothing substantial happened in this part, just a cool environment to kill zombies in. I mean, I get some clear footage of the jockey just plain ignoring Scott to get a leap at Brad, but we survived the gauntlet pretty handily, and honestly, if you just barely survived that gauntlet, I consider that a pretty good passing, but we got green health, 2 health kits? Man, we did good! And now for the finale. Usually you need to survive a large horde for roughly 10 minutes, but Dead Center is a special one in the sense that all you need to do is fill up a showroom stock car with a scattered gasoline that comes standard with every mall. The thing is that in Left 4 Dead, once you reach about the halfway point in the finale, they release a tank on you. We don't want to deal with that, so we come up with a plan. We're gonna grab all the gasoline, put it right next to the car without actually fueling it up, and then once it's there, one of us will shoot up with a needle of heroin and pour all the fuel in, because when you're under the influence, you actually do actions in half the time. and it worked well. For me, for the poor fools who actually protected me from the tank, well, they died in memory of Nick, indeed. He died like an idiot. Died like an idiot. So we drive the stock cart over to the next chapter, where unfortunately our awesome weapons got switched out. But we do get a brand new Brad. Well, we grab ourselves some baby weapons and then stop hopping across the cars, slaughtering zombies along the way, because we're heading to the amusement park.
I can't win, Little Peanut. I can't win.
I can't wait.
I can't win.
I can't win. Mustachio's too strong.
But before we can get to Whispering Oaks, we need to raid the motel, slide down the hill, and most importantly, set off the car alarm. It cost a lot of resources to set that off. Seriously, we were in the safe room, but I really wanted to set it off, and for some reason, my bullets weren't working from afar. So I waltzed on over and gave it a nice slap on the bottom. Ah, Whispering Oaks, the amusement park. And there's a lot of amusing things to do. Games to win, prizes to collect, and rides to ride. First off, to the shooting gallery. You gotta score 750 points. Now, your friends may get murdered while you're winning this, but nothing can replace your very own commemorative Gnome Chompsky. And you know you gotta carry him through the entire park with you. After all, it's a major award. So we go on through Kittyland, I deploy some frag rounds. Now usually I tend to avoid flame and explosive rounds because it actually makes me hesitant to use my gun. I can't shoot those aren't regular bullets. Those are special bullets, we might need them later. But since I'm trotting around the gnome, it doesn't matter what's in my gun, because what's in my hand is the father of modern linguistics.
Oh, by the way, if you actually understood that joke, major props to you, man.
And now we ride. There's a couple of rides you gotta go on to beat this. First is the slide. First you send down your child, make sure they have some fun, then you go down and make sounds of joy. Also very important, make sure to shame your friends until they have fun and go down the slide as well.
Whee! Oh. There you go.
Oh gosh.
The next ride to go on is the gosh dang ferry-go-round. Another obnoxiously loud attraction that just keeps blaring until you die. A tank during a Gauntlet event. Thanks, AI director, you janky Protestant.
You got this, Brad, because I'm dead. The horde. No. The horde.
You out of ammo?
Oh gosh.
Next round went a little better, except there was this one moment with a witch where I walked up, clearly samurai sworded her in the face, and then...
What the fuck? Nice! It wasn't me!
Alright, we make it back to the ferry-go-round, toss the gnome over to the end, and then we fight through all the zombos, and there's a witch. Still lame, but at least it's not a tank. 30 HP.
What's the gnome?
Save the gnome! Save the gnome! Forgive me! Get the gnome!
I got the gnome.
Alright, next part, we put down and resuscitate Bradley.
My creation life!
And now we're heading down the Tunnel of Love. Which, once again, rather uneventful, aside from the blatant favorism from this jockey that passed not one, not two, but 3 survivors just to attach itself to Bradley's precious face.
What the fuck? He literally walked past 3 of you and jumped on me.
So we make our way to the roller coaster with nothing but green health. And if you do that, the AI director would be especially cross with you. However, this time she wasn't. Usually this is one of the tougher parts of the game, but I do think that it's fair to say this was one of the cleanest navigations of the coaster I've ever done, especially since instead of shooting, one of us was on gnome duty.
Dude, that was clean. We lost Rochelle. That's the best part.
The next part is more carnivalic gaiety. We must play games like Whack Mustachio and Strongman. The coolest thing is that it actually gets knocked higher based on your health. However, with a little performance enhancement, you can knock it up to the stratosphere. I wouldn't really suggest it though. You don't really get a second Chompsky from this, and you just wasted the best secondary health item to summon a horde to your position. We proceed through the level. They planned to put a witch at the hardest part of the game. We died. Then we encountered another witch a little later, and obviously she went after her favorite man.
Oh gosh! Oh gosh, I set her off! I startled her! Oh, this!
It's par for the course, my friend. I can't believe you're surprised.
Okay, I'm looking through the footage right now, and okay, so you know how people make startled sounds when they get nabbed by a special? Just check out this unique sound that I managed to make somehow.
You're looking at the scenery. Scratch.
But during my play of Stash Whacker, I made the biggest mistake. And no, it's not that I whacked Mustachio. And no, it's not that for some inexplicable reason I threw a pipe bomb with black and white health and then refused to clear the area. It's that after the game, I didn't grab my gnome. We had to restart that run. After a couple more shenanigans, Scott set off a witch and she still went after Brad.
Look at him ran.
What the F? Look where she died! Look where I'm standing! Why the f did she run over here?
Oh, nymphs. They can't keep their hands off me.
At one point we decided, okay, maybe if we just sacrifice Brad and let her leave, the game will see that as a sufficient sacrifice. But this was a glorious attempt. We fought hard and all three important members survived. Yes, I'm talking about Ellis, Nick, and the leader of the bunch, Gnome Chompsky. Final section, and it's just another one of the coolest things in games. So we're at a concert of a parody of a ZZ Top band, the Midnight Riders. They have this awesome pyrotechnic show. If we activate it, maybe someone will show up and save us. And the best part is, they actually have some really cool songs. If you position the two fans, you know, Ellis and Coach, in front of the microphone, they'll actually sing the song.
Everything's crazy when the daddy's not around.
Unfortunately, Nick will only call Ellis overalls.
Overalls might be what he calls the...
Overalls.
There we go.
Another really cool thing is that since the Midnight Riders have the best pyrotechnic show in the industry, you can grab a few boxes of fireworks to light zombies on fire. But you start the show, set the zombies aglow, and enjoy the songs. I think my favorite part is that when the tanks show up, they actually get awesome guitar remixes of the tank theme. And it's not just like the same one, like there's two songs you get to listen to, and each song has a different tank accompaniment. You know, One Bad Man becomes One Bad Tank, and Midnight Ride becomes Midnight Tank. Well, after the awesome rock show, a helicopter descends, Scott grabs the gnome, and we make it to safety. Yeah, we got the gnome! We saved him!
Got the gnome!
The next level is Swamp Fever. We're seeing all the sights in the south. And what's more southern than the bayou? Alright, this is the bayou. Looks like more south of the... Ah, yes! Mexico is more south. Wait, there's more state... Whoa, there's more... Wait, what the frick is that? How come no one... What the Okay, that's more south than the bayou. Alright, the swamp level has the most crescendos that... I'm not really sure if they're crescendos or not. Okay, just for reference, Left 4 Dead games, there are points in the game where you summon a ton of zombies, and they come in two flavors. Crescendos and gauntlets. In crescendos, all you gotta do is hold up while a thing gets done. But in gauntlets, you will be continuously inundated with zombies until you die or you get to the end. Like the mall had you get to the third level and turn off an alarm system. And there are 3 points in this level where I thought there were crescendos, but it really didn't seem like the zombies ever stopped. The first one is in the first level with this little riverboat. You need to call it across, and once it arrives, I assumed that the zombies would, stop. But they really weren't stopping. So eventually I said, hey, everybody just huddle up on the boat, and then all the zombies committed mass drowning like a bunch of gosh dang lemmings.
Splish.
Then we head up on over the platform, trudge through some water, and then boom, we're to Bayou Chapter 2. One thing I like about this level is you are guaranteed a level 2 gun from the downed paratrooper. However, teacher said he could only bring it if he brought enough for everyone in class, so we all get the rifle. My one complaint is it's the burst rifle. Now, it's not as bad as a sniper, mind you, and it is better than a level 1 gun, so I'll take it, I'll get some footage of me using it, and when the opportunity presents itself, I will get rid of it forever. Hey, look, an M16. Alright, now we're to the next supposed crescendo, the airplane. Like, I think there's an achievement for spending the whole thing on the wing or something, but, you know, once the third wave of zombies starts crawling up on you, it really gets you thinking, and you know, once you move on, they bless you with a tank, and it instantly downs 3 of your crew. You're just not sure what to do. One annoying thing, but honestly it actually is kind of cool, is that in Left 4 Dead 2, tanks can extinguish themselves in wet places. Brad was really curious why the tank wasn't on fire partway through the fight.
I thought he was on fire. He was. He's in the water. Oh.
Well, we make it past that, and then the game showers us in health kits, and we're moving on to the next set piece, which is a half-submerged house. Not really anything gameplay-wise happened here, I just think that's really, really cool, and I want to see one for reals one day. Forget getting married and starting a family. I want to see a half-submerged house. Then we move up onto the road where we found laser sights. So once again, I had my personal favorite setup, laser AK-47 with a Desert Eagle side piece. Then we finish off the chapter and move on to the shanty town. Oh, and now for the curious case of the bandit AI. So we're checking the houses, and I call out some pills for Brad. He comes over to the room, but then Green Health Rochelle snatches it right out of his sights and eats him. And then I head over to the next room, and I call out an adrenaline, but before Brad can get to it, she slunk into the house, took it, and immediately jabbed herself in the leg. However, the game was feeling extremely generous, and it had yet another healing item sitting there for Brad.
There's another adrenaline. Is there a tank? Hey, should we kill her?
This is the third time, ma'am, you have been brought before this bench. While it is my most earnest wish ever to temper justice with mercy, your dedication to a life of crime is an abomination before God and man. Therefore, you will be shot in the head until you are dead, and may the Lord have mercy on your soul. Court adjourned!
And then the third instance of... Okay, is this a crescendo or a gauntlet? You see, you lower this bridge, and I swear it should just be one wave, but after 3 waves of zombies, we got overrun. I'm not gonna lie, it probably didn't help that it was 3 people instead of 4, but hey, what you gonna do, you know?
She deserved it.
I agree.
You get what
But
you
also,
deserve.
The next run goes, well, I was gonna say better, but that's a bold-faced lie. We just straight up left Brad and Rochelle to the wolves, while Scotty and I sat in the safe room and reminisced.
Hey, Chet!
Yeah, Scott?
Remember that time 5 seconds ago when we let Brad die like the dirty dog he is? Good times!
I killed everything.
can you kill Rochelle?
I mean, I probably could if I went outside and did that, but I don't.
Alright, go.
No!
And now for the plantation, which I think I would consider to be the hardest finale of Left 4 Dead 2 levels. However, I saw a speedrun video earlier this year, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't fully understand it. But I think that we can start the finale and then warp to someone who hasn't dropped down into the plantation yet. So Brad and I jump down, we kick this thing off, we go under the stairs, go idle, and then we magically warp to Scott. And now we're here, instead of, Wait, how is this a speedrun technique? I told you I didn't fully understand it. So we wait out the finale in the safe room. Tank song comes on, and then it stops. Does this 2 times, and then, yeah, I guess we just watch the end. Seriously, we just drop down into the plantation, and I was planning on like 3 waves of special infected and zombies to greet us, but no, it was just a clean walk from there to the boat. However, when I got in the boat and I looked back, there was absolute pandemonium. Rochelle even died. Brad claimed that she was taken down by zombies, and that's what I put on the official report, but just between you and me, I think he was still a little salty about all the items that she took on the last level. And now for one of my favorite levels of all video games. Heavy Rain. Maybe I should do a Jordan Underneath Levels I Love type video for this level, because I think it is so cool. Maybe later. Right now, we're looking at it like we've looked at the past 3 levels. So anyway, the boat saved us. It needs fuel. So we stop here to grab some more. But would you look at that? They're fresh out. So we gotta head inland. After a quick restart, because I got absolutely durgled. So one of the really cool things about this level is you're going to be coming back through it later. So all of the safe rooms have way more resources than a regular run would, like 8 health kits, and tons of throwable items. But if you greedily chomp them all down now, you're really screwing over your future self.
I thought the stomach gig would be Future Spike's problem, but now I am Future Spike.
One nice thing about coming back through is that they deem you worthy of level 2 weapons right off the bat. Look at that, we found AKs, and even laser sights. Wow. Now I've mentioned that I love laser sight AK-47s, and honestly, the stars usually only shine down enough that I get it on dead center and maybe once every 4 levels. But I have gotten it 3 out of the 4 times we've played. Nice! Now on to the sugar mill, and the approach is crazy because there are so many wandering witches. Especially on this playthrough. Brad set one off, but honestly, would you expect anything less from him? But then Scott nearly slashed one, but then managed to stop himself right at the last second. So we head into the factory, and this is where it gets crazy. Okay, so there's one on the main path. Obviously. Fine, we'll sneak around it. Oh! There's another one here, too. Okay, fine, carefully sneak around to her, and
There's another one. What the jank?
We can't even shoot our guns. They're all over the place.
and not 10 yards from her.
There's another one!
Honestly, I have no clue how Brad survived. Well, he didn't. None of us really did.
Oh, no! Oh.
What? The heck was that?
Alright, we make our way back through. Scott gets mad at me for shooting him, but
Mother's love!
I maintain that it's his fault for using the sword. You can't get mad at someone if you're a fool going downrange in a shooting gallery, okay? Granted, he probably had the right idea. Ammo is running pretty dry by the time the crescendo event comes. And I mean, they do offer you new guns right beforehand. However, there is no earthly power that can separate me from my laser-scoped AK-47. Alright, we climb aboard the elevator, ride it down, and now we have to navigate the sugarcane field. Half of it you can take the pipe, but the other half has that low visibility, which is kinda cool. You know, you don't know if there's gonna be specials or zombies 3 feet in front of you. Shortly after that, we make it to the gas station.
And now for the cool part of hard rain. Or heavy rain, wait, hold on.
It's all in that title. It has been raining all level, but now it goes into full tarantula downpour. The whole level is absolutely flooded. We'll navigate our way back, but now, going on the ground level slows you down to a crawl. That pipe in the field not only offers you slight vision, but is also the quickest way to go. Honestly, the level is cleverly designed in such a way that once you get to that pipe, you can stay out of the water for over 90% of the level. But before that, you know that a special infected has to jump into the center just to single out Brad. Take the elevator back up, kill some zombies, but there is a witch in the way. Scott goes over and tells her that she'd be so much prettier if she smiled. And while he's not wrong, he's also not alive. After that, we hop over onto this trailer and then Spider-Man over to this tank. Then we walk the catwalk and then we fall down into the factory area, which shows the secondary reason you might want to keep your socks dry. The tank. He sucks to fight, but you should always light him on fire. 2 reasons. A tank's entire health bar will run dry from fire alone. Second off, visual indicator. Where do I shoot? Oh, I don't know. You see that giant mass of violence and fire? That'd be a decent place to start. Oh good, the tank is killing Brad. A rare opportunity. Or should I say, medium rare? I killed my friend. Stand your ground. Okay, get up, buddy. Navigate the pipes. You go down here, and then you climb up these wreckages. And I like how it looks pretty natural, but also provides a straight route through the level. And at this point, I actually forgot the route. You can actually go straight to the office area, as Scott demonstrates here by jumping down from it.
Oh, what? How did I forget about that? That's super cool.
Now, the town doesn't allow you to be as waterproof, but there are still some parts that allow you to take the high road, like going across these houses. I think it's really neat how it is the exact same level, but there are ladders and stuff that encourage you to take the level completely differently. Anyway, we navigate through and get to the finale. Now, this finale was gonna be rough. I know we didn't have any Molotovs at the start of the level, but now that I'm here, I am none too pleased. Ah, man, no Molotovs means that we're gonna have to take the tanks on in a fair fight! And the fight started off bad. I got smoked immediately. Scott did go to kill the smoker, but he wouldn't get me back up.
Thank you, Rochelle, for teleporting to me while Scott walked away.
But we fight courageously and maturely. Ring around the rosies, fill him up with holesies, and we make our daring escape. Except Rochelle. She went full CPU.
On the boat. Rochelle, get on the... Rochelle. Rochelle.
Oh,
Never go full CPU.
In the Parish, there's a city. Memes do come true in New Orleans.
Why are you idling? So I can send you a meme!
First chapter, always easy. The spitter did attack the jukebox, but no amount of damage is gonna keep me from listening to my Midnight Riders. But the first chapter is always over before you can even comprehend that you started it. But then we move on to one of the hardest levels. One that I feel was designed from the ground up to be just the hardest gauntlet. The gardens are nice, usually providing you with a nice level 2 weapon, but this area is just 3 extremely long hallways. And while it is a chain link fence giving you plenty of sight lines to defend yourself, there's always plenty of chances for things to go wrong. This also seems like one of the Swamp Fever ones. Like, I know that I hit the button to stop the event, but man, they just keep on coming!
When do they stop? Scott, press X right here real quick, just to make sure.
You know what I just realized? I haven't talked about the uncommon infected. I guess I can do that now. So every level has special level zombies. About 5% of the common infected spawn as these. The first level had Ceta zombies. Their hazmat suits grant them immunity to fire, but they also have a 10% chance to be carrying a bile jar, which is my favorite throwable. Dark Carnival had clown zombies. Their squeaky shoes cause more zombies to spawn and then follow them. Swamp Fever had mudmen zombies. They crawl around on all fours, and if they hit you, your screen gets obscured by mud. Hard Rain has construction worker zombies. They have on protective headphones, so they are not attracted to the pipe bombs. Last and certainly least are the SWAT zombies. This riot gear makes them impervious to damage. From the front. You see, you gotta smack them and then put a few bullets in their behind. I really don't like these ones, as you can clearly see. Okay, survived the questionably long gauntlet, and we're almost to the end. We just gotta fight the tank with approximately 11 bullets between the 4 of us. This is why we always have a sacred bearer of the Molotov Cocktail. Next chapter, which is actually the hardest chapter in the game, which also starts with a tank attack. The one thing I want to bring up in this fight is that a zombie totally pulled a Get Down Mr. President with one of the boulders. Continue down in the level a little, and this trailer had not only a Desert Eagle, but laser sights too. 4 AKs with laser sights. Hashtag blessed. So we go through the house and then we drop into the sewer, and when we get there, we see a grenade launcher. Now, since the swamp level, I actually tracked down the speedrun video and learned a few more funny tricks. So Scotty actually volunteered to carry this ridiculously stupid weapon and rely mainly on his sidearm so we could try some really funny things later. The sewer actually lets out into one of the trickiest parts. A car park, and like half of these cars are rigged with alarms. The tricky smoker actually yanked me into one of them, and then I actually set off every single one of them on purpose. Simply because only one horde can rush you at a time. It didn't really work. After surviving the attack, we kept setting them off, thinking they had already gone off. Guess what? They hadn't. And wouldn't you know, the level still isn't over. No refill on ammo, but we still get to go through the New Orleans maze, procedurally and lovingly generated by the Left 4 Dead AI director. She's a tricky minx, that one. But we even make it through that chapter, which takes us to, in my opinion, the hardest level in Left 4 Dead 2. It's long, it's unforgiving, and in this playthrough, I'm gonna be honest, was just plain cheap. Like, it takes a while to get to this very cruel crescendo event. You gotta start a Mardi Gras float. And it plays when the Saints go marching in, and it just does not have a good holdout spot for you. We are sitting ducklings for this entire thing, and we ended up losing on our first go. But on our second go, we just barely managed to limp past it, and well, I'll just let the footage speak for itself. I'm Wiz, and he's Boomstick.
I'm alright. I'm behind chat. I'm good.
Time for a dead battle. Oh, 9! Oh, fuck! Why? Why? There was a merciful deity!
Ah! Ah! Oh God! Ah! Good heavens!
It's a good thing we dropped the difficulty, because this level is unfairly long. Seriously, I think that the crescendo is only, you know, a third into the level. Also, it's glitchy, but it is a glitch that I love. You see, Brad went idle in this chapter, and the CPU tossed out his melee weapon. Brad just wants to murder people with his guitar. Fortunately, this level always has a guitar. For some reason, this house, instead of using a frying pan to cook up their grits, they break out the old frying guitar.
Ah, the cooking guitar.
Brad,
It's really good for cheese.
How come?
Alright, after the absolute ordeal that was the last level, and forcing Scott to ferry the stupid grenade launcher, let us perform the speedrun technique.
Oh!
Did it work?
Yes, come a little closer. 3, 2, 1. Huh.
Oh, that was close. Oh, you almost made it. Take another step back, Scott.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that worked. I'm wondering if it has an invisible wall. He says a lot of things have invisible walls in this game. Well, you know what? It's funner to play the game as intended.
Yeah, we couldn't get it to work. So Scott dropped the stupid launcher and we played this level straight. But in all fairness, it's one of my favorites. Very unique. They turned a finale into a gauntlet. Just make it across the bridge, fight the tank, save your buddies, get on the helicopter, and fly to safety. We actually collected the footage for this video last year, but the footage got lost and corrupted, and honestly, I needed to do it again. I asked my friends if they'd be willing to play Left 4 Dead 2, and of course they said yes. You never turn down the chance to gun down zombies with your best friends. Thanks for watching.